Make them think about you nonstop by mastering these 5 skills. Stoicism. Modern Stoic. No woman forgets a man who disappears with purpose. Have you ever wondered how to make her think about you constantly, even when you're not around? It's not about doing more or trying harder. It's about knowing when to step back, gently, deliberately, so she can truly feel the difference when you're not there. When done with intention, your absence doesn't create distance. It creates reflection. She begins to miss you, too long for your presence, to replay moments you've shared, again and again. This isn't manipulation. It's the wisdom of Stoicism. A quiet strength rooted in self-worth, emotional control, and knowing that sometimes your silence speaks volumes. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And that inner calm, that composed presence, it's what makes you unforgettable. So here's a gentle challenge. Comment, "Calm is my superpower," if you're ready to become the kind of man whose presence is powerful and whose absence is even more so. Because the men who leave a lasting impression aren't always the loudest or the most visible. They're the ones who knew when to step back with purpose. Now let's uncover 5 powerful Stoic skills that will make her think about you effortlessly and endlessly. Shall we begin? One, self-control, the power of calm. Let's begin with the first and most powerful skill that will make others think about you constantly, especially in today's chaotic world. Self-control. Now, I get it. When you hear the word self-control, it might sound boring or rigid, like something reserved for monks or strict old-school teachers. But in reality, mastering self-control is one of the most magnetic and respected traits a man can possess. Think of it this way. Most people are emotional slaves to their impulses. They react. They explode. They get baited into arguments, distracted by nonsense, and thrown off course by their moods. But the man who remains composed in the heat of chaos? He becomes unforgettable. He becomes the still point in a turning world. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "You have power over your anger. If you choose to control it, it will serve you." That's not just advice, it's a weapon. In a world that's constantly trying to trigger you, the man who masters his reactions becomes a mystery, a source of fascination, and often quiet admiration. Women especially notice this. They're drawn to men who are not easily rattled, who don't need to prove anything with loud words or emotional outbursts. Your calm becomes a presence they feel, even when you're not around. Just like a general who stays calm under fire, or a man who speaks softly but carries wisdom in every word, you stand out. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic legend, once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." In real life, this means when she pushes your buttons, stay grounded. When life tests you, breathe. Respond, don't react. Practice it daily, whether it's staying silent when you're disrespected, walking away when you're provoked, or simply choosing not to engage in emotional drama. That discipline will make you magnetic. If you want to be the man they think about when they close their eyes at night, start by becoming the one who stays unshaken when others fall apart. That kind of presence is unforgettable. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever practiced self-control in a tough situation, and what happened? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might inspire another man on his path. If this message spoke to your heart today, leave a comment about faith. I am a high-value man. 2. Rational decision-making, the key to being unforgettable. Let's talk about a skill that, once mastered, will make people think about you long after you've left the room. Rational decision-making. And no, this isn't about turning into some cold, emotionless machine crunching numbers and charts. It's about becoming the man who can walk into any situation, chaotic, emotional, uncertain, and bring clarity like sunlight cutting through fog. In today's world, where impulsive reactions and knee-jerk choices are the norm, a man who moves with quiet thoughtfulness stands out like a lighthouse in a storm. Rational decision-making isn't just a tool, it's a signature, a presence, a kind of internal power that makes people stop, listen, and remember you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And it's true. When your thoughts are disciplined, your decisions become powerful. You stop drifting with the current and start steering your own ship. People are drawn to that kind of presence, not because you shout the loudest, but because your choices speak volumes. Imagine this. A crisis hits at work. A deadline is approaching fast. Emotions are flaring. People are rushing to solutions without fully understanding the consequences. But there you are, calm, collected, observing. While others panic, you pause. You weigh the situation, separate facts from feelings, and think through the next steps with precision. You offer a path forward that isn't just smart, it's wise. You don't have to convince anyone you're a leader. Your actions do that for you. And when the dust settles, you're the one they remember. You're the one they respect. You're the one they turn to next time. That's the quiet magnetism of a rational mind. It earns trust, and trust is unforgettable. Even in smaller moments, this ability leaves an impression. Say you're out with friends and everyone's going back and forth about where to eat. Some want spicy, some want quiet, some just want food fast. Instead of getting lost in the noise, you speak up with a choice that balances everyone's needs. It's not just about the place, it's about the fact that you noticed what mattered to each person. You thought it through, and suddenly you're the one who saved the evening. It may seem minor, but it's these small, consistent acts of rational clarity that stack up. Over time, they build a reputation, and in a world that often moves too fast, a man who slows down and chooses wisely becomes rare and magnetic. But let's go deeper. Rational decision-making isn't just for group dinners or office meetings. It's about how you live. What time do you wake up? How do you spend your money? How do you respond when your partner says something that hits a nerve? These are the quiet corners of life where character is forged. Every time you stop yourself from reacting impulsively and choose the wiser route, you're not just being rational, you're becoming the kind of man others admire. And here's what most people miss. Rationality doesn't mean coldness. It means caring enough about outcomes to think before acting. It means honoring your values over your emotions. It means seeing the long game. Marcus Aurelius also said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." And that's the heart of it. Rational decision-making is not theory, it's practice. When you live it, people see it, and they remember. You become the calm during their chaos, the clarity when they're lost. And in doing so, you don't just win their attention, you win their respect. So here's a challenge for you. The next time life throws a decision your way, whether it's a quick text to respond to or a big choice at work, pause, think, consider the long-term effects. Observe how others react when you stay cool and choose wisely. Watch how your calmness begins to shape their perception of you. Over time, you'll find they start thinking, "What would he do?" And once that thought enters their mind, you're living rent-free in it. If you're ready to master the kind of decision-making that commands respect and keeps you unforgettable, drop a comment below and say, "I choose wisely." Because that's how it starts, not with loud declarations, but with one calm, calculated choice at a time. 3. Resilience in adversity, the strength that leaves a lasting impression. Resilience in adversity isn't just a trait, it's a force, a power that marks a man as unforgettable. It's the third critical skill in making them think about you non-stop. Not because you're flashy, not because you're loud, but because you're unshakable. Understand this. True strength isn't shown when life is easy. It's revealed when the storm hits and you don't flinch. When everything around you crumbles, yet you remain composed, focused, forward-moving. That's when you become the man they can't stop thinking about. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Those words from Seneca aren't just poetic, they're a blueprint. Pain doesn't break a Stoic, it sharpens him. Pressure doesn't destroy him, it defines him. Think about the last time life threw you a punch, a job loss, a divorce, betrayal, failure. Did you sink or did you rise? Imagine this. While others collapsed, you stood tall, silent, stoic, focused. Step by step, you pushed forward. Not because it was easy, but because that's who you are. That kind of quiet power doesn't just make waves, it etches itself into people's memory. They start asking themselves, how the hell does he do that? Your calm becomes a mystery, your strength becomes a symbol, and just like that, you're unforgettable. Picture this. You're at work, chaos hits, everyone's scrambling, stress rising. But you're the eye of the storm. You lead, not with noise, but with clarity. When it's all over, no one forgets how you made them feel, secure, steady, strong. That memory sticks. That impression lingers. That's influence. That's power. And that's why they'll think about you, non-stop. You want a metaphor? Resilience is like those inflatable punching bags from your childhood. Life hits hard, you bounce right back up. Again and again. Eventually, people stop looking at the punches and start asking, what is this man made of? The answer? Grit, grace, stoic fire. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Obstacles aren't there to stop you. They're there to sculpt you. And once you truly embrace that, once you stop seeing adversity as an enemy and start seeing it as fuel, you become unstoppable. Listen closely. In a world full of men who crumble under pressure, be the one who rises. Every setback you face is a chance to become the man who's remembered, not for having an easy path, but for walking the hardest one with unshakable resolve. That's what makes people think of you when they're lost. That's what makes them wonder how you keep going. That's what makes your name echo in rooms you're not even in. So here's your challenge. The next time life tests you, don't just survive it. Dominate it. Let your resilience speak louder than your words. Show them what it means to be forged in fire. And when you do, you won't need to chase admiration. It'll come looking for you. If you're ready to become that man, the one they remember, the one they respect, the one they can't forget, then prove it. Drop a comment below with the words, I rise stronger. Let's find out who here is truly ready to turn adversity into a legacy of power. 4. Mindful presence, the power of being fully there. Listen closely. If you want to become unforgettable, if you want to dominate her thoughts long after you leave the room, then you must master this fourth power. Mindful presence. Not just being there, but being fully, deeply, powerfully there. In today's overstimulated world, where every man is glued to a screen, endlessly distracted and mentally elsewhere, your undivided attention becomes a superpower. Your presence, sharp, grounded, deliberate, is a force that cuts through the noise and leaves an emotional imprint they can't shake off. Wherever you are, be all there, said Jim Elliot. And that, my friend, is what separates the common from the unforgettable. When you're with someone, Your full engagement becomes a silent declaration. You matter. No phone in hand. No eyes drifting. Just pure, unbroken focus. That's rare. That's stoic. And that's power. Imagine this. You're in a conversation. She's talking. You're not planning your response. You're not half listening while scrolling. You're locked in. Eye contact like steel. Nod with intention. Silence that carries weight. You hear not just her words but her meaning, her story, her emotions. You respond not quickly but precisely. That kind of presence is unforgettable because it makes her feel seen, heard, important. And that feeling? It lingers. It sticks in her mind like a melody she can't stop humming. Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." That's not just poetic. It's a command. To be present. To show up. Fully. Let's flip the script. Think about the last time someone wasn't present with you. You spoke, and they nodded blankly, phone in hand, eyes glazed. How did that feel? Like talking to a brick wall. Now reverse it. Be the man who gives full presence. That contrast creates desire. That presence builds mystery. That energy. It stays with her. You become the exception, the one who made her feel seen in a sea of men who never learned how to pause and feel. One of my old mentors once said, "Presence is the ultimate seduction. It's not about words, it's about attention." When you train yourself to anchor into the moment, to show up like you have nowhere else to be, you radiate power. Women sense it. Men respect it. The world feels it. It is not weakness to be calm. It is not soft to be still. It is stoic control at its highest level. Reverse psychology? Here's the truth. Ignore the need to impress, and you become impressive. Don't chase. Be present. Watch them chase you. Here's your challenge. For one day, no distractions. The next person you talk to, give them everything. Lock eyes. Listen like it matters. Speak with weight. Let them feel your presence like a silent storm. Then watch what happens. Watch how they lean in, how they remember, how they start thinking about you when you're not around. Because in a world starving for attention, the man who gives it becomes unforgettable. You want to be that man? Drop a comment below with the words, "I'm fully here." Let the world know you're not average. You're not distracted. You're not like the rest. You are present. You are stoic. And you are in control. 5. Emotional regulation, the secret to staying on their mind. Let's talk about the fifth powerful skill that will make someone think about you long after you've left the room. Emotional regulation. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't about suppressing your feelings or pretending to be unaffected by life. It's about learning how to master your emotional responses so that no matter what's happening around you, you remain steady, composed, and in control. Picture this. You're not a thermometer reacting to the emotional heat of the moment. You're the thermostat, setting the tone with calm, strength, and clarity. That's the difference between a man who's forgettable and a man whose presence lingers in people's minds. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This ancient wisdom holds true today. Think back to a moment when tensions were high, maybe in a relationship argument, a work meeting, or a family issue. Now imagine, instead of snapping or shutting down, you paused, took a breath, and responded with calm confidence. Suddenly, you're not just in the moment, you're commanding it. That's emotional regulation in action. It's not weakness, it's a form of power most people never learn to wield. And when people see that, when they see you stay grounded while others lose their cool, they remember it. They admire it. They start to wonder, how does he stay so calm, so in control? That curiosity becomes respect. That respect becomes attraction. You become unforgettable, not because you shouted the loudest, but because you didn't have to. You led with presence. You handled pressure with grace. And that makes people think about you long after you've walked away. Emotional regulation isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about choosing your response like a skilled artist chooses his brushstrokes. Whether you're in a tough conversation with your partner, navigating business tensions, or facing a difficult decision, the man who responds with calm becomes the man everyone looks to when the storm hits. That's not just stoicism. That's leadership. That's legacy. So here's your challenge. The next time frustration creeps in, pause. Don't just react. Lead. Watch how others shift their energy in response. Notice how they listen more, how they respect you more. Emotional control is magnetic and rare. As Epictetus wisely put it, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. If you're ready to take that control back, if you're ready to become the kind of man they can't stop thinking about, drop a comment below and write, "Calm is my choice." Because the moment you master your emotions is the moment you master the room and their attention. And that's the truth, my friend. When you master these 5 Stoic skills, you don't just improve your life, you shift the way people see you and feel about you. Whether it's at work, in your relationships, or just walking into a room. You carry a silent power that's impossible to ignore. Let me remind you of what these skills are. First, emotional control. Not everything deserves your reaction. The man who can stay calm no matter the chaos is a man people respect and fear losing. Second, the power of silence. You don't need to fill every moment with words. Your silence should speak for you. And when you do speak, every word should carry weight. Third, controlled body language. Stand tall, move with intention, keep eye contact. Your energy enters the room before you do. Fourth, mental discipline. Train your mind to focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. That's how you gain inner peace in a world that thrives on distractions. And finally, presence. Be here, fully. When you're with someone, give them your full attention. That rare quality makes you unforgettable. Now here's my honest advice to you, man to man. Stop trying to get people to think about you. Instead, become the kind of man who lives with such strength, such calmness, such confidence that they can't help but think about you. You become the thought that lingers, the mystery they replay, the standard they start comparing others to. It's not about games. It's not about manipulation. It's about becoming solid, stoic, grounded, a man who doesn't chase because he knows his worth. So take these 5 skills seriously. Practice them every day. And watch how people begin to treat you differently. Watch how she starts noticing you without even knowing why. Thanks for spending this time with me. If this helped you, take a moment to reflect on it. Come back to it when you need a reminder. And most of all, stay consistent. Because the man you want to become is built in silence, discipline, and daily effort. Until next time, take care, stay wise, and keep walking the path of strength. I'll see you in the next video.